welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I will be sharing the books that I plan to read in January. So at the time of filming this, it is January 7th, so I'm getting this out really late, but I couldn't start filming videos and get back into the swing of things with making videos again until like today. So we're starting off late with this video, but I'm still going to share the books that I plan to read in the rest of January. One of these books actually I have already read, but I'm still going to mention it because it was initially on my January TBR. Let's talk about that one first. So that is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. So I have already read this book. I will mention all my feelings for it in my January wrap-up. But what I will say is that I really enjoyed this. This was a book that I had been hearing about a lot in the romance book community. It's a very popular one at the moment, so I wanted to give it a try, and I really enjoyed it. So I will talk about it more in my January wrap-up, but yeah, I thought I'd mention it because I initially put it on my TBR. But since I'm getting this video out late and filming this late, of course, I'm more going to read a book that was on my TBR. And like I mentioned in my wrap-ups, I am currently reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward, which still has the half-price books stickers on them. One thing I love reading this series is that the books are so cheap. Like, you see, they're only like $3.99 each because they're used, so you can get them at like my half-price books for so cheap. So it's really easy to collect these. But yeah, I'm continuing my read of this series, and every single book has gotten better and better, so I have high hopes for these books and cannot wait to read them. I love this series so far. It's like I said in my last wrap-up, it's the series that got me back into reading for sure. And if you don't know, this is a vampire series. It follows this group called the Black Dagger Brotherhood, who are tasked with taking out these vampire slayers who are trying to eradicate all vampires, make them extinct. So in order to preserve the vampire race, they have to fight off these slayers and kill them so that vampires don't go extinct. A very good series. The books are very steamy, but that's part of the reason why they're so great. The romances in these books are so good. They're definitely guilty pleasure reads for sure, but I just adore them. I definitely want to read another Colleen Hoover book this month because I'm trying to read all of her books, including all her backlists, so I want to get to another one. And the next one I want to read is Layla. This one is actually a paranormal book, and as far as I know, none of the rest of Colleen Hoover's books are paranormal, so this is a very unique one from her. I know it involves, like, I think it's a ghost or something like that, and that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm excited to read it because it is Colleen Hoover, and she's one of my favorite authors, so I have high hopes for this one, and hopefully those hopes are met. I'm very sad because it's one of the next books that I've been wanting to read. I put it in my work bag because I was thinking, you know what, maybe I'm gonna get to this one soon and maybe I'll start it while I'm at work. And I didn't realize that the coffee drink in my bag was opened, and it ruined the pages a little. It's bugging me so much. One thing I hate is when my books get freaking like coffee stains or water on them. Oh my god, it's like it's a bookworm's worst nightmare, and it happened to this one, so very sad, but I mean, at least it's still readable. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this one with the Black Dagger Brotherhood books, but I want to get to Father Mine, which is book 6.5 in the series. This one follows Zadis, who is a member of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and his after story from his book, which is Lover Awakened. It's pretty much kind of like an epilogue to that book, but it's a novella, so I do plan to read that one this month as well. And I'm actually going to read it before I get to... Oh, actually, it's book 6.5. So I need to read it after Lover Enshrined, right? This is the sixth book, right? Yes, this is the sixth book. So I need to read the novella, Father Mine, after this one. Okay, I was kind of trying to remember the order in which I'm supposed to read it. So yeah, I do plan to get to that one. And it should be good because I really love Zadist from the series, so I'm looking forward to it. Next one is Restore Me by J.L. Seggers, and this one is a book club pick from the book club Ravished by Romance, which is run by Jessica from Peace Love Books on YouTube, who's a booktuber who I really enjoy her videos, so I thought it'd be cool to participate in her book club, and this is the book club pick for that club. I actually don't know anything about what it's about, but since it's the book for the book club, I'll definitely read it. I've been wanting to do either like a readathon or a read-along book club thing this month, so I thought I would participate in this one. So yeah, we'll see how the book goes. The next one is Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate. This is the second book to Praise, and it's part of the Silicious Players Club series. I really enjoyed the first book, Praise. I read it in December and really liked it. Basically, this series takes place in a sex club. In the first book, we get to know the owner of this club, and in this book, I'm pretty sure we're gonna follow the owner's like not assistant, but someone who is involved with behind the scenes of the writing of the club. And this one does also have a romance in it. I really enjoyed the romance in the first book, so I hope the romance in this book will be just as good. Each of these books are companion novels. The first book was super steamy, so I'm definitely expecting the same vibes in this one, which I'm pretty much always in the mood for that kind of stuff. So I am excited to pick this one up. And I actually am going to try to also get to the third book, which I believe is called Give Me More, which the premise of this one sounds super interesting because I know it involves a married couple who also kind of like lets in, I think the guy, the husband, lets his friend into the relationship, and I've never read a book that handles that situation, so that's going to be very interesting to read about. I'm so curious about it. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading the books in this series, and hopefully the second and the third book is as good as the first. And the last one I'm going to mention, I'm actually reading this book right now, but it is on my January TBR. It was one of the initial books I put on my TBR, so I'll mention it even though I'm currently reading it. And that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Jennifer L. Armentrout is one of my favorite authors, so I've been really dying to pick up this book. I put it off for the longest time because this series is not complete yet, and so I didn't want to start it too early because I knew I was going to have to read a book before the next release. But it got to the point to where I couldn't wait anymore, and I've heard so many people talk about this book and how much they enjoy it that I was just like, I feel left out and I need to just start it already. So I've started it, and I'm really liking it. This one is a YA fantasy, which is really out of my realm. I don't read a lot of YA anymore, and I also don't read a lot of fantasy. That's not my go-to genre at all. So I was kind of nervous going into this, and I do feel like, yes, the fantasy has made it a little hard for me to get into this book, but I do love the characters so far. I love this romance as well. Oh my god. One thing Jennifer L. Armentrout is amazing at is developing a romance. Always. All of her romances are so good, and she's really nailing this one. So I'm excited to continue reading it. We'll see how it ends. I'm a little over halfway through it, so I should finish it probably by tomorrow. So I'm excited, and I'll let you know my full thoughts on it in my January wrap up. So that is all the books I have to share. However, I'm gonna do what I always did in my TBRs, and that is my random book pick. So it's basically a TBR jar. If you've seen other booktubers do the TBR jar, I don't have a physical jar with me. So what I do is I just random number generate a number, and the number that comes up, I correspond with the number on my Goodreads want to read shelf, and I put that book on my TBR. And I always did this because it pushed me to read books that I had on my TBR that I maybe wouldn't have picked up anytime soon. It kind of just forces me to read that book. I like it. It's always super fun. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to random number generate a number right now on my computer, and we'll see what book comes up. So the number I got is 112, and the book that came up is Girl Out of Water by Laura Silverman. No, I have no idea what this one is about. I don't remember this one at all, but it's on my Goodreads TBR, so I put it there at some point. Let's see, it looks like, I wonder if it's YA. Okay, so it's listed under young adult, so, which is fine. I was in love with young adult books at one point. I still kind of am into them now. It's just not, it's not a category I pick up as often anymore, but you know what? I haven't read a young adult book, I mean, except for From Blood and Ash, but I would categorize this as very upper YA. I don't know if this one is more upper YA or reads more younger. We'll just see. But yeah, I don't know pretty much anything of what it's about, but I'll give it a try and we'll put it on my January TBR and hopefully I enjoy it. So that's it, all the books that I plan to read in January. Hopefully I'll read them all. We'll just have to see how I do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps out the channel a lot, and I hope you stick around because I have a lot more bookish related videos coming out really soon. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back really soon. Bye!